5 hours, 29 minutes, and 12 seconds. That's how long two 20-something athletes just redefined what we thought was humanly possible. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner didn't just play tennis for nearly 6 hours. They performed at superhuman levels while their bodies should have been shutting down. This wasn't endurance. This was something else entirely. Today, we're diving into the science behind the impossible, how two human beings sustained peak performance longer than most people can stay awake, and what their bodies and minds were actually doing during the longest final in tennis history.
What happened at Roland Garros breaks every rule we know about human performance. Tennis is classified as 90% anaerobic, explosive bursts that should drain your energy systems within minutes. Yet these athletes maintained power outputs that would kill most recreational players for over 5 hours. We're talking about hitting forehands at 97 miles per hour with extreme topspin in the final moments. That's not just fitness, that's a complete redefinition of what elite human physiology can achieve.
From a psychological standpoint, this match represents something we rarely see: two athletes simultaneously achieving what we call superfluidity. It's beyond flow state. It's an egoless performance marked by zero mental friction, where conscious thought disappears and the subconscious takes complete control. Most athletes can maintain this for minutes, maybe an hour, 5.5 hours. That's not just mental toughness, that's accessing an entirely different level of human consciousness.
Let's start with what should have been impossible. Dr. Torres break down what their bodies were actually doing during this marathon.
The energy system paradox. Tennis uses the phosphocreatine system, explosive power that typically lasts 10 to 15 seconds before needing recovery. The work-to-rest ratio is usually 2 to 1. 5, meaning for every second of play, you need 2 to 5 seconds of rest. But in this match, rallies averaged 6 to 10 seconds with only 20 to 25 seconds between points. Over 5.5 hours, that's thousands of explosive movements with insufficient recovery. Their bodies should have hit the wall around hour 2.
What's fascinating is the psychological endurance. Research shows hitting accuracy drops 81% when approaching volitional fatigue, yet Alcaraz's shot placement in the final tiebreak was surgical, 83% of shots within 3 feet of the lines. Under that level of physical stress, maintaining that precision requires what we call neural efficiency, the brain actually rewiring itself to use less energy for the same output.
But here's what's really mind-blowing. They both seemed to get stronger as the match went on. Dr. Torres, what's happening physiologically?
The second wind phenomenon. Both players experienced what we call metabolic switching. Around hour 4, their bodies shifted from relying on glycogen stores to fat oxidation, essentially becoming more efficient fuel-burning machines mid-match. Elite athletes can oxidize fat at rates up to 0.7 grams per minute, but this usually requires specific training. What we saw was real-time adaptation, their metabolism literally evolving during competition.
Psychologically, they entered what ultra-endurance athletes call the other side. When you push past normal human limits, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for conscious thought, actually downregulates. The result? Decision-making becomes subconscious and faster. Alcaraz saving 3 championship points wasn't conscious strategy, it was pure instinct operating at superhuman levels.
There's something else remarkable here, the age factor. These are 22 and 23-year-olds performing at levels that should destroy mature athletes. Dr. Torres, what does youth have to do with this?
Generational physiology. Their VO2 max values are likely above 65 milliliters/kg/min, elite endurance athlete levels, but it's their recovery capacity that's supernatural. Young athletes have superior autonomic nervous system function, meaning their heart rate variability allows for faster between-point recovery. They're essentially resetting their energy systems every 20 seconds at rates that decline dramatically with age.
What's unprecedented is their mental resilience. Sinner is typically 0 to 7 in matches over 4 hours, yet he battled back from 2 sets down and served for the championship twice. Alcaraz is 13 to 1 in 5-set matches, but this was different. He maintained flow state while experiencing what should have been performance-destroying fatigue. That combination of youth, training, and mental architecture is incredibly rare.
Let's talk about the breaking point. Dr. Chen, what determines who survives when both athletes are operating beyond normal human limits?
The mental energy reservoir. Elite athletes have what we call athletic mental energy, the ability to maintain drive when perceived effort skyrockets. Mental fatigue affects performance in 2 ways. It increases the effort required for tasks and decreases the perceived value of rewards. Alcaraz demonstrated superior mental energy management. His why remained stronger than his how much longer throughout the match.
There's also thermal regulation. Players can sweat 2.5 plus liters per hour, but maintaining electrolyte balance and core temperature over 5.5 hours requires exceptional physiological efficiency. Their bodies were essentially operating as perfect cooling and fuel systems while generating explosive power. It's like running a Formula One engine for an endurance race. It shouldn't work, but somehow it did.
What does this match tell us about the future of human performance? Are we witnessing evolution in real time?
This match represents a convergence of factors we've never seen before: next-generation training methods, superior nutrition science, advanced recovery techniques, and genetic gifts that appear maybe once per generation. They're not just elite athletes, they're human performance laboratories. Their ability to maintain anaerobic power over aerobic durations suggests we're entering a new era of what's physiologically possible.
Psychologically, they've demonstrated that the traditional understanding of mental fatigue may be incomplete. The fact that both achieved peak performance states under extreme duress suggests that consciousness itself can be trained to operate beyond normal parameters. This has implications not just for sports, but for understanding human potential in any high-pressure, extended-duration scenario.
Dr. Tor's Dr. Chen, what we witnessed wasn't just a tennis match. It was a real-time laboratory experiment in the outer limits of human capability. Two young athletes didn't just play for 5 hours and 29 minutes. They redefined what we thought was possible when the human body and mind operate in perfect synchronization under impossible conditions. This match will be studied for decades, not just as great tennis, but as a breakthrough in human performance science. Alcaraz and Sinner didn't just survive nearly 6 hours of competition at the highest level. They thrived. They evolved. They showed us that when youth, training, mental architecture, and genetic gifts align perfectly, humans can achieve things that rewrite the textbooks. The longest final in tennis history wasn't just about who could endure the most. It was about who could transcend the very concept of human limits and perform at supernatural levels when their bodies should have surrendered hours earlier. That's not just athletic achievement, that's human evolution in real time.